But yeah, I think for like GDQs next year, I think it would be really fun to do something with the insane, excuse me, with the insane trilogy, especially for a full trilogy run. Especially for a full trilogy run, that would be super fun. And I think like a relay race, kind of like what they did with the Mario games at this year's GDQ, would actually be really fun. Like an any % relay race between multiple teams of runners would be super chill. What's happening, Super Spyro? How you doing today? You're my ex-girlfriend. Which one? I'm just kidding. Little C's, how are you doing? You don't like my laugh? I sound like a rich white guy. Well, my laugh does not actually dictate my riches. So that's okay. If it makes you feel any better, I laugh like a rich white guy, but I'm not a rich white guy. I'm just a white guy. Under pressure first. Under pressure first. What's happening, Vivi? And, not quite 163, not quite. Yo, welcome back, Meaty Muffins. Hope you're feeling a little bit better, by the way. Okay, cool. There we go. Got myself turned around a little bit there, but that's okay. I appreciate the story that you're telling right now, Dark Reapers, but it's currently off topic. So if the topic then becomes the storylines of Mind Over Mutants and Crash Over Titans, then you're more than welcome to keep going. But for now, I'd ask you to refrain from out-of-context storytelling. Is this a new remake? It is. This is a ground-up remake of the original 3 Crash Bandicoot games, as a matter of fact. What's up, S-Coop? Making me blush upon entry. How's it going? Going to Cafe Rio? Do I want anything? What's good at Cafe Rio? Trying to choose on games you want to learn. Series any % on the Saturday after. Literally got a 247 race Tuesday after. Do you mean a 246 by chance? That sounds like a fun category. It sounds like a category that like you could that's definitely like doable. The 602 for me is just like totally incomprehensible at this point for me to actually do. But 246 could be something I feel like I could get into and something I could do. Okay, so unfortunately that backfired, and I did not come out with any extra mass, but that's okay. Technically, you're supposed to go into Under Pressure as your first crash level in this warp room, so that way you can try to get some extra masks for Toad Village. One of the interesting things about Crash 3 routing too is that not only do you have to consider mass, but you also have to consider character switching, because the manual animation, when the game changes characters for you, it's slow. It is slow. Yo, Meaty Muffins, thanks for the 100 bits, man. Go get something, burritos are good. Yo, sounds good. Sounds good to me, man. Sounds like I'm going to Cafe Rio later. But thank you, I do appreciate it. Don't want to skip pin of 5? Oh, your early Yoshi go round. Okay. For a second there, I got it confused with YGE, which was Yellow Gem early, and I'm like, wait. I was like, wait a minute, that's not true for Mario. Do you do gelato skip by chance? But yeah, basically, you end up switching the characters manually when each level stages. So when I hit the button in the warp room, it takes a little second for the entry portal to show up. And during that time, you can manually switch characters and basically have the game perform double duty. Otherwise, you end up having to wait an extra like second or so for the characters to manually switch, and then they'll manually switch back after you exit the level. And that adds up. So you want to also have the routing. You also want to make sure you have the routing consider that as well. Oh, that's why you got to do a 247. Okay, I get it now. Am I doing another run after this? I am. I'm not going to be doing another full trilogy run, but I will be doing individual game runs after this. Hey, we didn't die making waves. Saving time. Oh, yeah. That's kind of interesting that, you know, he had an old 246 that was, you know, it wasn't called the 246, it was called the 247. And then when you do early Yoshi go around, it's like, crap, we no longer have 247 stars, and you just have to, like, rename the entire category. I don't know, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to me. Ah, so there's a little bit of speed tech there. If you touch... Yeah, there you go. If you barely touch the corner of the ramps there, you get the speed boost, but you don't get the jump, and that's awesome. Like that. That's so cool. That's so cool. Why is there no split for Tiny Tiger? Because I forgot to split in time for the boss battle, so I had to skip it in order to so I had to skip the split in order to keep it accurate, because if I split early or late, then my segments that are tracked are not going to be accurate. So basically, if I don't split at the time I'm supposed to, then I'm supposed to skip the split. It doesn't really matter. You just lose a bit of precision with oh, there we go. Okay, so I did that a little too early, but yeah, you basically just lose a little bit of precision with best segments. Was that possible in the original games? No. The ramps tended to drag you off if you were to ever get onto the platform. Basically, an invisible wall comes up and prevents you from actually doing that. But yeah, in excuse me. But in the Insane Trilogy, that is totally possible, because the ramps don't do that anymore. They just basically launch you off in whichever direction you're already going. Which is a little bit annoying for 100%, because trying to do precise jumps to hit the boxes you're supposed to can be very challenging. But overall, it's not bad. But overall, like, for any percent, it's not bad. Alright, take it easy, gaming expert. Hope you have a good one, buddy. I guess that makes sense. Like, you can do either. 246 is technically faster, but you're not going to get punished, you know, for doing a 247, which is a little slower. Gotta do it by impersonating John Madden's voice. I don't have a whiteboard yet, though. See you later. I can't be totally in character without it. And thank you for the good luck, by the way. I appreciate it. There's a 416. What is the 416? Oh yeah, Boneyard. Let's do this. Let's do this, Marines. Should I do Warp 4 and 5 relics first on Crash 2? If you're interested in getting all the hard stuff out of the way, then definitely. It doesn't hurt to get all the hard levels out of the way, for sure. My camera is out of sync. Okay, let me fix that in between levels. I do apologize for the desync going on here. 246 plus 3D World. Oh, gotcha. Isn't there, like, technically a Mario Any % series that I've seen a Prism do, where he does, like, SMB1 all the way through 3D World? Cameras in sync for you guys? Yeah, I would probably refresh your stream then, Gaming Expert. What's happening, T. Kimura? How are you doing? And what's up, Aquaman? How are you as well? Glad that the camera's looking in sync for you guys as well. And what's happening, Donkey, as well? Doing good? That's awesome. I think I'm starting to recover a little bit from my grogginess earlier today. It's only taken almost 3 hours, but we're kind of on the come up now, which is pretty sweet. Down we go. Camera too sexy? Or maybe that's the streamer. Damn, Vegeta, making me blush, man. I didn't know you were capable. Last time I saw Vegeta, he wasn't capable of making anybody blush. He just kicked some ass. But then again, that was a Dragon Ball. This is Twitch. Different times. Different times. In case you're wondering where the crystals come from, there you are. That's where they come from. There's a nice fan comic of Vegeta blowing up Mars to make Bulma smile. Worth. So worth. It's like Darth Vader blowing up Alderaan. Except that was not to make Princess Leia smile. Oh, that's not what I was supposed to do that. I got totally confused there. Cafe Rio or Little Caesars? Yes. Both if possible. I don't even know if there is a Little Caesars around where I live. I never really checked, but there's like a lot of really good pizza otherwise, so I don't really have much of an incentive to go to Little Caesars at this point. But whenever you need a cheap pizza, they got you. And it's pretty good. It's definitely one of the better $5 pizzas. No mom and pop pizza joint? Oh, there are. There are like pizza joints and like little pizza chains and stuff around here. But I have not noticed any Little Caesars in particular. I think like in general, like the Seattle area is not known for its pizza. Not that it has bad pizza, but it's not like Chicago or New York where there's just like a ton of pizza everywhere. All right. Oh yeah, $5 pizza is a thing. It's definitely not going to be like super quality pizza. But it's good. Like it's definitely like it's like good, nice, like average pizza for $5, and you can't really get that full for $5, you know, anywhere else. I guess I do Midnight Run first. Oh, I keep doing it too early. Yeah, the bubble has to be spawning, otherwise your character switching will interrupt. Will actually interrupt the level loading sequence. Yeah, the channel definitely has come a long way, Yin Yang Foxes, and you know, I want to take a quick moment to thank all you guys for being here. Honestly, you could be anywhere on Twitch, but you've chosen to be here, and that really does mean a lot to me. I do appreciate it. It's good to have you all for sure. What's happening, Jokers? How you doing today? That is a terrifying emote, by the way. The emote of the most trustworthy guy. So disappointed you couldn't get Boston-style pizzas here. I don't actually know what Boston-style pizza is. Oh, I see. Never mind then. You're like Little Caesars pizza. You're all right, buddy. Meaty Muffin's throwing the charm on, as you can see. Yo, thank you, Dolly and Elford. I do appreciate it, guys. It is definitely pretty great. And I do appreciate the compliment as well, Dolly. I mean, talking to you guys is my favorite part of streaming, and that's something that, like, the interaction is really what I like most about Twitch as like a viewer in somebody else's stream, and also like as a streamer. Like the talking to chat and like the sense of community is definitely huge. Like I really enjoy that aspect of Twitch, and you know, hang on one second. What do I do? Where do I go? Okay, gee whiz. All right. Anyway, it's definitely something that I really appreciate quite a lot, and it's super fun. It is super fun, and I will very happily multitask in that regard. Cooked yourself a full English breakfast was the twist. Well, welcome back, Jordan, and what's the twist? I must ask. What's the twist, and is it Twizzlers? A rotini pasta, perhaps. What's up, Mexit? I think they're technically toads, but they are. I think they're supposed to be toads. They are mutant toads, though. They are huge. They are humongous toads. Sausages were wrapped in bacon and injected with cheese. That sounds like my kind of sausage right there. What's happening in Muma Studios? That 3-hour flat time. I remember when I first got it during my last run, and I was like, I remember thinking to myself, I'm just like, this is never gonna happen again. Like, I couldn't even do this if I tried. So I'm definitely gonna savor the moment of having it be a nice 3. What's happening, Real Lance Gunnin? How you doing? Does Crash do anything better than Coco? He does boss battles better than Coco, partially because Coco doesn't even bother. It doesn't make anything faster, but the reason why we switch back and forth between Coco and Crash in this game is because certain levels you're forced to do Coco, and certain levels you're forced to do Crash. So managing your character switching to where you spend the least amount of time in switching cutscenes is very important. So when I start a new level, which I'm about to start very soon. So when I start a new level like this one, during that little buffer where the level had to load the entrance, if you switch characters right before you're basically in a level where you're basically supposed to switch characters and you're forced to switch, then you can switch characters while that's doing its thing, and you don't have to wait for the game to force you to switch characters or switch back to whatever character you had once you're done with that level. So it's not a huge amount of time just individually in each instance, but it adds up over the course of the run. So that's the only reason why we bother. Otherwise, the characters behave very similarly and don't really have any inherent advantages. What's happened to Dark Matter Bacon? Can you dedicate your life to me? You know, I've never really, never been approached with that offer before. Honestly, don't even know how to respond. I'm just kidding though. Honestly, the best way you can dedicate your life to me is to live your own life very well. Be the best person you can be. That's the best. That's what would make me very happy. And probably you too. I think Crash dies in a funnier way. Yes, some of the death animations for Coco and Crash and like some of the move animations are a little bit different, and some people prefer one character over another. No! Oh man, if that platform was back just a little bit farther, I would have been fine. I think I died in this level in my PB too, for that matter. Can I dedicate my life to you, Muma Studios? What are you offering? The end of Crash 2 was very, very bad. I was actually pretty far ahead after like the first couple of warps in Crash 2, but it just started going very wrong very fast. I think I just kind of lost focus and I was like starting to lose concentration. So I think that's what happened there. Like, I just kind of started derping around and just like not like focusing very well, and that's pretty much what happened there. The good news is though that although this run is behind, it can still record. We can still record by several minutes, and Crash 3 was not good. Like this run was very bad toward the end of the game, so we can definitely still make up the time. Where did an ancient pharaoh get a flamethrower? Where's that like shoulder shrug emoji? I know the dingo split at exactly 3 hours will like never happen again. Will I eventually do 100% runs in this? So it would actually be a 309. See you later, and that would require if I like all 3 of the 100% categories. Ugh, that was a bad jump. If I like all 3 of the 100% categories and get somewhat competent at each of them, then I would consider trying it, but that's going to be really, really long. That's going to be really long. And I don't know. I think at this point, if I did a 305, it would be a 12-hour plus stream, and I definitely am not in the market for that sort of thing at this point. It would be very frustrating, too, not really knowing what I'm doing. You think you saw that hieroglyph? Where? Like, you actually saw it IRL? Aren't the lab assistants that have been sent back in time to retrieve crystals? But can they send the flamethrowers back? Like, is it like the Terminator where you can only send yourself back and you gotta work with what you got? I don't know. The plot thickens. The plot thickens, as a matter of fact. I wonder if they ran out of time. I wonder if they ran out of time, Levante, for making some of the death animations for Coco. But also, Pantsless Coco probably would have been very controversial. They probably thought about it and then went, nah, we can't do this. We're definitely going to get in trouble. Like, I could definitely see them catching some serious flack for having that kind of animation in there. Saw an Eye of Horus hieroglyph on a girl's lower back. That's pretty cool, actually. That is very cool, as a matter of fact. Alrighty, so I'm a little bit concerned about the time we're gonna lose, but in this split, because we still have to do this level in Dingo Dial, but these may actually finish faster than I think. They have another girl in short shorts who was cut from the original. You're talking about Tana, right? Or is there another character that I'm missing? Ouch. What's happening, Crisco? How you doing, buddy? Oh, jeez. That was something I was just not prepared for. I was not prepared to be in that particular spot. There we go. That's better. Do 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 do. Just in the first crash, and then she came back, I think, in Mind Over Mutant or Titans. She was apparently with Pinstripe. That's the that's like the lore. That's like the only lore that I know of Tana coming back in the later games. Is the bike any easier to handle? It's different. You don't turn at all at first when you hold the turn button, but after a second of basically charge up, you then can actually turn pretty sharply. But if you ever stop turning, you have to start over again with charging up your turn, so it is a little bit awkward. But once you get used to it, it's actually pretty cool. It's pretty cool the kind of stuff you can do with it. Though I think I prefer overall the physics in the old game. I can appreciate the physics in the Insane trilogy, though, because you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. Oh, come on. Come on. When making a description during loading screens, use your hands. Wait, what? Oi! There we go. Now he's dead. What's better, you thrash me, mate, or oi? I actually don't know. I like both of them. Oh, there's the exit portal. There's the exit portal. Did we really get a gold split there? Seriously? Huh. Huh. That's weird. Nicely cheesed, indeed. Got the awesome Aku Aku keychain. Unfortunately, I did not receive such pre-order swag, but that's okay. If I really want one, I can buy one later. I guess we do Deep Trouble first, because we might want to come out with extra masks. Well, might want to take some of these extra masks here. Should have had excessive profanity to voice Dingo Dial. The game would then become rated M for mature, though. I don't think it would be a rated E for everyone game at this point. I wouldn't buy yours, Dark Matter Bacon. I wouldn't try to buy yours. If that makes you feel any better. I don't know if it does. There we go. But yeah, I think it would be really funny to have excessive profanity do the voiceovers, or just have like actual like Australian streamers do various voices for Dingo Dial. Just some like custom insert voice acting here type thing. I think that would be a really interesting idea. We must have cut some lines out from when they're goofing around. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they had some stuff that was cut out that they like weren't able to use, even though like it was really fun, or like they were having a good time with it, just because it was like too vulgar or maybe a little too lewd or something. All right, so I talk about bringing out extra mass, and then I like intentionally damage abuse. Hashtag just Chris things. What's happening, Rappy boy? How you doing? That's all right though. Oh, that's fine. We didn't die, though. Like, I think we died at least once. I think we died at least once in this current record. When someone decompiles it. Dude, hopefully. I would love to hear some of the rejected voice one of the rejected voice acting. Excuse me. Too lewd, exactly. Let's do doubleheader. That's where we get masks. Life is pretty good, Raffy boy. I'm feeling a little bit groggy today. Like I don't have quite as much energy as I normally do, but otherwise I'm feeling pretty sweet. How are you doing? They had a hot chocolate deleted scene too. Wasn't it called hot coffee instead of hot chocolate or something? I think that was the San Andreas thing, I believe, was called hot coffee. That would be really crazy, though. Like, that would be... I think a lot of people would be like, what? If there was something like that in there. But I honestly don't think there would be. It seems very out of place. It seems very out of place, honestly. But yeah, that was back in like 2005, was it? Was that when the PC version of GTA 5 came out? Or I'm sorry, GTA San Andreas? Man, if GTA 5 came out all the way back then, that would be something. think that was like almost a decade before GTA 5 actually came out. Because I think GTA 5 came out in 2013. If I remember correctly. I think it was 2013. That's awesome, Raffy Boy. I'm glad we have that in common. I think San Andreas is definitely up there for me. I think GTA 5 and San Andreas were both the best for me. I like them both for their different ways. I don't really know if I can call one like specifically better than the other. Not at this point. In before GTA 6 or GTA V. GTA V? Vi? How would it be pronounced? That definitely sounds like an excessive profanity voiceover. With excessive profanity, of course. It's almost like he's named that for a reason. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I would too. It's so inappropriate for a Crash Bandicoot game, but that's what makes it so funny. Oh, I mean like VI. I was just being a goofball. Dark Matter. Oh, hang on. Meanwhile, these imposters. I'll fight you. Are we talking like IRL, or are we talking about are we talking about like a video game battle? So that's gonna change my answer. Maybe someone could make an auto trigger to that to dub over Dingo Dial when you win. Just all of a sudden Crash just starts talking like mad trash to Dingo Dial after he's done. Maybe Crash just like teabags Dingo Dial after the fact as well. There you go. Like in Dreams. I'm not sure what kind of dreams you have, Dark Matter Bacon. Oh, jeez. Okay, that's cool. I'd rather do this because the nitros can bounce, and it's very likely that the nitro would have actually hit me if I had not done that. Oh no! Get out of there! I don't dream, I live. Well, that's good. That's good. Oh, there we go. I like the way you think. That's really frustrating. That's very frustrating. Crash X Dingo Dial? Uh-oh. I don't know if I want to think about that one. Come on. Come on, you can do this. You can do this. It's just very frustrating, like, sometimes when you come across these lava pits here, because it's very easy to get burnt here, and you don't really have a whole lot of wiggle room to jump over and around them. I thought I pressed R1 in time, but I did not. It would be a lot more than 10 hours at this point, Raffy Boy. It would be a lot more than 10 hours. Like, it's just getting annoying, like, to keep dying with in the lava. It's just getting annoying. That's all. Yeah, it would be even more, honestly. Like, I gotta, like, go, like, way out of my way to make sure I don't hit that lava. Ugh. Oh, man. That was not very good. What's going on, Denny? How are you doing today? How do you know your dreams are not reality and your reality is not a lie? You don't. The answer is you don't. This could all be surreal. How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real? Also a very good question. I'm glad you're feeling okay there, Denny, though. That's good. What if, though, Jordan? What if everybody looks better on camera and how they perceive other people than how they actually are? Ever speedrun Crash Twinsanity? Not a huge fan of Twinsanity. I didn't have a great first impression with it when I tried it. Like several years ago. Oh, that's cute. I might like it more. I might like it more nowadays. Like, I might be able to appreciate it a bit more, but at this point, I don't really care for Twinsanity that much. Short answer is no. That is actually true partly, which is why people think they look worse in photos. Like, because it distorts it, right? Okay, this is not good. What's going on, Jock? How you doing? Boom Bang was the best game. The insider knowledge right there. Boom Bang was actually the best game. There we go. That's awesome. I'm glad you're doing well. I definitely can't complain at this point. I'm feeling pretty groggy. Like, I did not wake up with a ton of energy this morning. So I'm kind of fighting through that a little bit. It's a little bit harder to play video games. But overall, I'm doing pretty well. Overall, I definitely cannot complain at this point. Just gonna sleep a little bit better tonight. That's basically where we're at. Leonardo da Vinci carved art like Crash Boom Bang. Well then. Oh, I totally forgot we don't have Tornado Spin yet. I was like, oh, I can just Tornado Spin over this guy. Ah, that's why this level is hard again. We blame Da Vinci for Boom Bang. The history of Crash Boom Bang goes back a long way. Today I learned. Because our brain is used to seeing faces a certain way and not flipped. Actually, that's a good point. Like, just looking at it from like a different side, even though it's the same, like even though it's basically the same, like looking at it like this might be a little bit awkward for our brains. It's true. How come I do boss splits and not level splits? There's a lot of rerouting that goes on in this game and in Crash 2. So like the route changes all the time in these two games. So that's one of the reasons why I just have boss splits. In Crash 1, any percent, you can basically do individual level splits and it's not a big deal. But I do boss splits in that game as well, just to kind of keep things consistent. Okay, so we can actually save a good amount of time in this level by winning the race first try, because we did not do that in our first attempt during the last PB. So okay, cool. So hopefully we'll just be able to win the race no problem. We'll be Gucci. We'll be well on our way to getting this run back on track. Record is still possible. Record is still possible. That's how bad this Crash 3 run was. Alright, well, unfortunately, we kind of gave that guy a booty tap, which is definitely not quite what we want to see. But we can make this work still. Oops. That's okay. Cool. Yeah, we might be living the dream here. We might be living the dream here. Okay. I'm not sure why that kind of spat me out at a weird angle, but it didn't actually hurt us, so we're good. Just want to make sure we didn't fall into the pit, because then we'd be back into situation again. Don't need any more of those at this point in the run. But yeah, this is actually very good. We're gonna save a lot of time. We're gonna save a lot of time on this segment because that went well. But yeah, Warp 4 and 5 definitely still have a lot of room to gain some more time as well. All right, Entropy, do your worst, buddy. His amazing powers come at a price. I wonder what that is. There we go. What's happening, Rob-a-san? And welcome back, Elford, by the way. I appreciate it, buddy. There we go. Alright, phase 2 over. Isn't it possible to skip the first phase by jumping over to him? I don't know exactly how it works, but I've heard that it is possible. I've heard that it is possible. But the strats where you go down onto the platforms over there where the magnets are, that doesn't work anymore. That much I do know. Oh, if I didn't make that jump, that would be so bad. That would like basically negate Road Crash at that point. Well, thank you for letting me know, regardless. I thank you for letting me know regardless, Alfred. All right, so that was good. That was actually a pretty solid Warp 3. Hopefully we can continue to bring this run home. Because I think I saved like at least 2 or 2.5 minutes. I think I at least saved like 2 or 2.5 minutes there, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and do Tell No Tales. Let's go ahead and do Tell No Tales and see what we got here. Do not remember how this cycle is coming up with the bombs. Laughing her head off at what she was typing. Hey, she's having fun. She's having fun though. You definitely can't complain with that. And what's going on, Wesual? How are you doing? Thank you for the good luck as well. I do appreciate it. But yeah, this is all 3 games. All 3 games definitely does take a little while to do any percent. But each of the games takes about an hour without loads by themselves. The load times are pretty significant in this game currently, and the leaderboards usually have their times, the load times removed. So the time you see with loads, 356.14, is without loads considerably shorter. Nice. What's going on, Christopher? How are you doing today? Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is definitely all 3 games, not just Warp. Though it did take me a while when I was when I was doing my first time 100%, my first time 100% runs of these games. It did take a very long time to get all the items that I needed. These are hard video games, for sure. Even after speedrunning the original games, it's definitely pretty hard to adjust your muscle memory to the new ones. But once you get past that learning curve, it's been a blast. It's definitely been an absolute blast. What's going on, Nino Wolf, by the way? Am I allowed to switch between games in the trilogy? Absolutely. The only stipulation for the any percent like full trilogy run is that you start start the timer when you start the first game, and you end it when you end the last game, like basically when you're supposed to. If you want to submit runs within the original, within a full trilogy run as single game runs, as long as you time them the same as the individual game's rules suggest, you'll be fine. Got you hooked and did your second run yesterday? That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad it seemed fun to you and that you're doing it yourself. That's really, that is actually really awesome to hear. But yeah, you can switch between games in the trilogy, and it's very easy to do so. But basically, you want to do each game. You want to finish a game, switch to the next game, and then finish that game, switch to the next game. Switching back and forth and going in and out of games at will is generally pretty slow for these type of runs. All platinum relics? No, I didn't get all platinum relics, but I do have all games complete to 100x%. Yeah, let's do 16. Do 16. What's happening to Lecture Z? I'm going to combine your question with Nino Wolf's to say that the Coco Dashes are you're talking about the bear levels. They are faster. They're faster and you jump farther, so you got to be careful. The levels are definitely a lot more powerful. The mechanics are very different from the originals, Elector Z. I like them in some ways and don't like them in others. So there's definitely still a lot of appeal to doing the OG trilogy games, but at the same time, the Insane trilogy has definitely been really interesting to try and master. Ooh, that's not good. Yes, you can. You can play as Coco, and you can actually unlock Coco after the first boss battle in in Crash 1 and 2. But in Crash 3, you can actually start off with Coco right away, which is pretty neat. We don't actually switch between characters in the first two games, though, because it ends up being strictly slower. But you actually, switching characters is actually a strat in Crash 3 runs, because you want to minimize the time, you want to minimize the number of character transitions for levels where you're forced to play as Coco or you're forced to play Crash. What's happening in Insane Paul? Coco is the same. Coco and Crash move at the same movement speed. Different animations and a different looking character model, but aside from that, they are pretty much the same. I think Naughty Dog has seen the trilogy and they've commented on a job well done to Vicarious Visions, but beyond that, I actually have not heard. I've not actually heard. But yeah, 309 is going to take a long time, Colin. It's going to take a long time to learn and to actually do. But I think they really like it. Last I heard. Crash is your OG game back in the day? Same. Same though. It's definitely been a ton of fun, and I really enjoyed the games as a kid, and I enjoy them like even more honestly as speedruns. 41504 with loads. Not sure how to calculate without loads. Missing splits is okay. Missing splits is okay, Christopher. As far as loads, there's a spreadsheet that I can hook you up with, Christopher, that actually has very consistent load times for a normal PS4 with the standard hard drive. Do you run on a normal PS4 or do you run on a PS4 Pro, or do you have a solid state as well in your PS4? Ready to make another Crash game? Yeah, it's at the top of the charts. It's like the best-selling, I think, single-player game this year, from what I understand, which is pretty awesome. PS4 Pro, I'm not sure I can help you as much with. I don't think there's as much documentation out there for how long the loads are on PS4 Pro, but there have been a few runners who have submitted PS4 Pro runs. When Coco does a short spin in the air, it's actually a double jump. Sort of, Ginkgo. Basically, what's happening with some of those double jumps is that I am doing a glitch high jump on top, which, like right here, like I just did a glitch high jump on top of my double jump, so it looks a little bit different. It looks beautiful for being a remake. I mean, this is definitely a beautiful remake. Like, this is honestly, as a remake goes, it's up there with Resident Evil Remake in 2014 on Steam. Like, that is a gorgeous game, and it is, and it was a really well done game. And this is honestly, I think, in the same league. Yeah, I don't really know what direction they would go for a new Crash. See you later. I really don't know what that would look like. I don't know what that would look like, but I'm curious to know like what kind of ideas they would have. Yeah, no problem, Christopher. And yeah, and of course, Ginkgo, no worries. How's it going, by the way, Ginkgo? I don't think I properly said hi to you. Excuse me. A little rude there, Mr. Streamer. Alright, do bye-bye blimps. Then we do Tomb Waiter, and then we are on to Engine. So if I wanted to speedrun Crash 3 with all boxes, I just have to start where I get control and end at the finishing cut screen. The exit portal is where you split at the end of Crash 3, Nino. So when you beat Cortex, after you beat Cortex and you get the last power-up, once you enter the exit portal, that's when you end the timing. Is that how you say hi? Is that all you got, streamer? Is that all you got for me? Yeah, if anything, like, this might actually, like, people who are just starting on Crash with the Insane Trilogy, this, you know, some of them might like it so much that they want to see the original games, which is kind of cool. That, like, some of the success of the Insane Trilogy can be ported over to the old games, too. But yeah, the first 3 Spyros would be huge. Remaking the first 3 Spyros would be huge, and they might. Like, Activision holds the rights to Spyro and Crash together, so that's pretty neat. And I think that they could really, I think that they could really do it, and especially given that the Insane Trilogy has done super well. If a Spyro remake follows a similar formula with Insomniac games at the wheel, then that's a really hype idea. Yeah, Insomniac might have some of the original files, and I'm pretty confident that there are some of the staff at Insomniac actually that did work on the Spyro games, which would be super cool. A Crash and Spyro mixed game did happen. It was called Crash Fusion. Crash Purple and Spyro Orange. They were not super well received. There is a speedrunning community for those games, and there definitely are fans of it, but definitely not as well received as the original games. I'm gonna wait here because this is a slippery slope if I don't. Crash would have less trouble getting 25 crystals in the Spyro game. True. True. There are a lot of gems and crystals in the Spyro game. Whoa, that was really interesting. Cool. Do I like Ratchet and Clank? I've actually never played a Ratchet and Clank game. I've heard about them and know of them, but I've never played a Ratchet and Clank game before. One of these days I would like to try it, but at this point I currently have no experience with Ratchet and Clank. The monkey bars are a little slow. The load times are a little slow as well, though they're actually pretty good on the Xbox 360 version. And Wrath of Cortex was definitely not perfect, but that game was definitely very rushed, and they had a design that was pretty close to what Twin Sanity was supposed to be, and it got scrapped. So they basically were scrambling to make Wrath of Cortex what it was upon release. I always cut them a little bit of slack for that. And doing a lot of vehicle levels was probably a mistake because I think it spread them too thin to really hone each of the mechanics down and make them as good as possible. It's like I think it could have been more, it could have been better refined, you know, and I think if it was more refined and a bit more like a bit more focused technically, it actually could have been a really good game. And I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's a fun game. It's just not as good as it could have been. And Twin Sanity was kind of the same thing. Yo, Magatop, what's going on, man? How are you doing? The all bolts run at SGDQ is fantastic. I saw Gem was doing a lot of work on all bolts. Like I think he was doing all bolts for like a month. He was doing all bolts for a very long time to prepare. Nice. That stayed up just long enough. There we go. Can you open this side? Eventually. Maybe one day. Yeah, there I was all the way to the left and I couldn't hit engine's body part there. That is something that does happen sometimes. Now I'm gonna go for 102 and all gold bolts. I know nothing about Ratchet and Clank speedrunning, but that sounds good to me. It sounds like a good time. It sounds like a good time if Gem's doing it. Alright. Get rid of these guys here. Yo, what's happening? Shady Senpai, how are you doing today? Good, just suffering a bit because it's so hot. No, I don't blame you, man. It's that time. It's that summertime yet again. Okay, so that's taken care of, and ballin'. Yo, we might actually get a pretty solid gold split here. Yeah, how about that? We're ahead, guys. We are ahead. Oh, we don't talk about that 2015 SGD. We don't talk about that SGDQ run on Mooma Studios. It's been near 30°C here. That is pretty hot. That's like in the 80s Fahrenheit, I think. Told you we could bring it back. Told you we could bring it back. It is winter in Australia. That is true. Are you from Australia, Wesual? As a matter of fact. Original Ratchet and Clank over the remake. As flashy as the new graphics are, I found it hard to see enemy projectiles. Yeah, that sometimes can happen with graphics updates, where like some things can be just a little bit harder to see. Oh, you're not? Dang, you did bait me, didn't you? Baited me hard into that question. What's up, Crash SSBM? Ah! I was totally blind. I probably should have just jumped all the way across. How's it going, by the way? Can I make it? Yeah. There you go. Oh, come on. Look at how happy that ape is, too. Look at how happy that ape is. That ape was, like, in the worst spot. He was in the worst spot. Yikes. Here, this is what we're gonna do. Nailed it. That's how you do it. That's how you just need to do it. What's up, Samey? How are you doing today? Nailed it. Can we get up here? Yes, nailed it. Nailed it. Bam, there we go. PB'd with a 112 exactly. Oh, a Link to the Past rando. Awesome. You definitely don't PB in a randomizer run every day. That's awesome. I think it was G Pro was who did the Crash 2 run at SGDQ in 2015. Sword of Seals did the run at AGDQ 2017, which was the more recent one. But yeah, that run, the 2015 run, was not good. It was definitely not a good day for Crash Bandicoot. The Mirror's Edge run this SGDQ was funny. I heard that it was kind of awkward in certain parts. I don't want to go into it here. I don't want to incite any drama, of course, but I did hear about that run. What's up, Potashu? How's it going? Yeah, you gotta watch out for the monkeys, man. They don't seem like much. Oh god, no ecdysis. No, I don't want to relive that moment. Got a 2v2 match coming up. In a 2v2 match in what exactly? What tournament exactly? Excuse me. Okay, I wanted to do a double jump there just to be safe. I was concerned about falling. Yeah, there were some very untasteful jokes said that basically resulted in the runner getting banned at this point. Does spinning after the slide cancel an animation? It doesn't. It really doesn't crash SVM, but basically the reason why we slide spin as opposed to slide jumping is because it's faster to recover from a spin and still be able to chain your slides together than it is to recover from a jump. Like, the animation to spin is shorter. So you end up being able to do more slides per second, and sliding is what really makes it really makes it fast. What's up, Mr. Terry Bull? How are you doing? No, that was a couple years ago, Howling Wolf. So it doesn't really cancel an animation, but it allows you to get back into your slide faster. All right, so I didn't actually pay attention and see if I had 2 masks or not. Am I gonna try any Ratchet and Clank sometime? Maybe. That's the best answer I can give. I really don't know. Probably not anytime soon, but maybe. We'll see. And yeah, no worries, Crash. I got you, man. The only drama this year was the Tetris block and the Breath of the Wild. I heard about both of those, but I don't really know what happened. I don't want to get too far into it here, but don't want to get too into it here, but basically I did hear about that going on as well. He eventually did get unbanned. He eventually did get unbanned from Twitch. I believe the GDQ ban is still active. Am I participating this year SGDQ? Well, it already happened, and I did not attend the event because I just moved cross country. So I will not be. I was not at this past SGDQ, but I am looking to attend AGDQ next year though, in the winter. All right, sounds good, Mr. Sele. See you later, and thank you for the good luck. I do appreciate it. What's up, Sumimasen? Sumimasen, is that how it's pronounced? How's it going with you? And what's going on, X Shades? AGDQ submissions should be coming up. What month? Like September, October? What I really like to do for GDQ this next year is do an any % relay race with the Crash Insane trilogy. I think that would be like a really fun thing to do for the Crash games. And I think like at AGDQ this past year with the Donkey Kong Country relay race and with the with the the 2D Super Mario Relay race. That was awesome to watch. I had a ton of fun watching it, and I think they were both like very highly viewed as well. So I think doing something like that for the Crash Insane trilogy would be super cool. That just seems like the next logical step, you know, to do Crash at HDQ. I need to talk to some runners though and see who would be interested and who could realistically attend, because I would really like to make this happen. I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay. Switcheroo. There we go. But yeah, definitely like the GDQ staff and the like what's popular for viewers, like the GDQ staff also has to consider their like professionalism, and I think that was, and like they always have to consider that, and that's why, like, you know, sometimes Games Done Quick gets a lot of criticisms for like being too family friendly, or like, oh, they don't allow the runners to cuss or this and that. But you got to understand that like they're a huge organization, and they're very, you know, they're wanting to keep, they want to keep improving, they want to keep, you know, not only raising money for charity, but also like they want to, you know, they want to be professionals and, you know, increase the reach of speedrunning, you know, and kind of kind of give the gift of speedrunning to as many people as possible. And it looks really bad for them, you know, to do what they do if they have runners, you know, cussing up storms and like making really offensive jokes, you know, and like they just can't do that, you know, it's against their interests. So, you know, I think we just need to understand that when it comes to the way GDQ, you know, handles like certain people's personalities, or like sometimes like how they approach certain situations where like runners say things that are like not okay on stream, or if they like generally act unsportsmanlike. You know, all that stuff reflects badly upon them, and it's totally understandable that they would have to do something about it and say, look, you can do that in your own house, but not in my house. Like that sort of thing. Oh, geez, that's bad. That's bad. I'm not sure why I did that. But that's okay. We can probably still win. Yeah, we can still win. We can still win. What's up, Twin Lancer? How you doing? Yeah, I was a little bit concerned here. I was a little bit concerned here for a second, but we'll be fine. We are fine. The only games I tried speedrunning were Portal 2 and Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy is a hard game. I don't know that much about Portal, but I can imagine that's also pretty difficult as well. I really wish one of those bot guys got hit by a cop car, but they are the almighty AI cars. Nothing bad can ever happen to them. But yeah, going there as a guest, honestly, like, even if you're going there as a guest, like, even if you don't speedrun yourself, or if you're like more casual about your speedrunning, it's so fun. It is so fun to go to Games Done Quick. Like, I had a great time, and at the HDQ 2016 and 2017, like, I've had a blast, honestly, at each of those events, and I didn't run anything at either event. So definitely still go if you can. That's something that I don't know if I'm gonna. That's something that I don't even know if I'm capable of, Creeper. I'm definitely not as strong at 2D games like Super Meat Boy or I Want to Be the Guy, like, or Boshi, like those type of games. I generally leave those to your Witwixes and other people who are much better suited for that sort of thing. Yo, what's going on, Gabeth? Indeed, I did. I'm having so much fun with the Insane Trilogy. Have you gotten to play it yet? Did a test at 6K bitrate, but that's a bad idea for viewers. It is depending on the size of your community. Like 6K bitrate, you really don't need for most games that you end up streaming. If you don't have transcoding, like if you don't have a certain number of viewers to get transcoding privileges, then you definitely want to be mindful of your bitrate as well. But for the most part, Oh god, he's going away from me. Okay, now he makes a turn. Very good. Hey, that was pretty cool. But yeah, basically, like, I won't think for retro games, like, you need to go very high. You don't think you need to go that much higher than, like, 3K, like, 3.5K. The really high bit rates are if you've got, like, a super high-end setup and you're playing a very high-end game. That's awesome, Gabeth. What did you think about it so far? Which Crash am I the best at running? The one that I'm the highest ranked in at this point is Crash 3105. The original Crash 3105% is probably the category that I've done the most and the one that I think I have the most skill with. But I used to do Crash 200% a lot, and I've done and I have like decent times in the any percent categories for the original 3, but Crash 2 and 300% are the runs that I've had the most expertise with in general. Yeah, I definitely think they did a great job as well, Gabeth. Definitely really like what they did with the remasters overall, and it turns out that they're pretty interesting speed games too, which is great. Anyone ever been banned mid-run? I think that's happened, like, not a runner, but I think that's happened. I think, like, people on the couch have been disciplined or something immediately. Something like that. That's a lot of money, Datloss, especially considering what you want to stream. Like, if you're streaming PC games, then you might be more inclined to build a separate stream PC, but I don't think you really need it for console games. Capture card is really your bottleneck for performance with a console stream. I'd really prefer if you be quiet. I know. All right, let's drop the GDQ things going wrong at GDQ's conversation though. I think we've had enough of that. There we go. No clue. No clue, Jordan. Alright, mines. Do your worst. Alright, we got lucky. We got lucky with the mines today. So that gets spit out at a random point in the arena, I'm pretty sure. Bam. And just like that, after 5 minutes, being 5 minutes behind,
maybe I should retire to a
that's a new
nice
recce.
big beach.
That's a new recce and by a good margin.